There's been an interest in what's in my totes. So if you're intending to do this professionally, you'll want to see what's in it. First, we'll start off with this stuff. This is a gate lanyard. I charge $5 for this to my customers. I get this at Home Depot, and it's for when there's a gate that I need to get through and they don't have anything like this. It makes it tough to open the gate, so I just install this and charge them $5. And then here we have these wire marker labels. This is the 0 through 9. I had to write that on there. For some reason, Panduit didn't bother to write that on the package here, so I wrote it. But this is the 0 through 9 numbers. And in here, if you've never seen these before, there's individual ones. There's a row of individual numbers, and those are for putting on terminals if you need them. I don't usually need these. The only time I use these individual ones like this is when maybe I'm marking valves. It's easy just to put this on top of the solenoid. But these come in like that. There's 3 to a set, and then you wrap that around the wire set, or around the wire, excuse me. You wrap this around the wire, and you want this to stick to itself. Makes it easier for it to stick instead of trying to get it to stick to the wire. Sometimes the wire's dirty, has an oil film on it or something. So Panduit, I believe, is better. It's got a cloth-like material to it, whereas the Gardner Bender, for instance, they don't stick that great after a while. So I'm not going to be using these anymore, but I've just got this one left. This is the 1 through 45 numbers. So when you have numbers higher than 0 through 9, then you can use this. And this is the alphabet and special characters. So here we've got the alphabet, and I use these for marking wire sets, not necessarily wires, but wire sets. Like in the example I'm showing you here, there's A, B, C, and D wire sets there, and that gets documented on the paperwork I create for the job. And the last item I have here are my laminated labels. And here we have, I use these for marking, I'll put one on a timer, on the owner's manual, or on my tools like you've seen. That's why they're laminated. Next we have another repurposed cocoa container. Another repurposed toothbrush for cleaning solenoid threads and stuff like that. Another black and silver marker. Sometimes I'll use these for marking where I'm going to drill a hole in the wall. Sometimes I'll use the pencil for that. I also use the pencil, the mechanical pencil, for writing the installation date on the owner's manual. Here we have this Klein Tools circuit tester. And this I mostly use at the valve manifold for testing which solenoid is actually active, whether we're actually getting electricity to the solenoid. And my Milwaukee wire strippers. I've been using the Channel Lock brand all these years, but I thought I'd give this one a whirl since I have other Milwaukee tools. So I haven't even used this one yet. So there's that. box knife. This just has a razor blade in it. I use this for, pretend that's the end of the wire set and I need to strip that open so I can get to the wires. I'll just cut it like that, peel it back, and then cut the excess off. It's mostly what I use that for. And I've got my Ewing brand freebie screwdriver. I mostly use these in orbit timers and Rainbird timers that don't have terminal screws. I use this for releasing the wires in the timer. And a channel lock mini screwdriver. One thing cool about these mini screwdrivers is you can take that out, flip it over, and now you've got a Phillips head tip on there. And here I have a masonry bit that I use the most. This is for drilling holes in masonry in the drywall or stucco for the screw anchors for Hunter timers. And the last thing in there is a paper clip that's used for cleaning stuff out of small holes. Then I have electrical tape. This is Gardner Bender. I also use 3M when it's available. I don't like using the cheap stuff because it doesn't stick well. You want stuff that's going to work well for you. And the screwdrivers. These are both Huskies. I picked these up at Home Depot. It's hard to find screwdrivers anymore that are sold in singles. They want you to buy packs of them now. So this one's used, mostly for the terminal screws in timers. This is for whatever. I also use this for opening water meter boxes. And this is a Gardner Bender product. This is called liquid tape. My son Josh turned me on to this when I was back in Indiana with him. And I use this for when you get the insulation nicked on irrigation wires. You can just dab some of this on there and it'll dry up like rubber on there and create a watertight situation. And the rag, again, is just an old Sprinkler Pros polo shirt. I use this for cleaning the gunk off of wire connections. And then the bottom down here, bottom of the tote, I have just extra 18 gauge wire usually for extending wires when they're not long enough. And twist ties for tying wires together. Okay, that's that side. On this side, I've got these 4-inch cable ties. The black makes it UV resistant. You want that if it's going to be outside for tying wires together. Here we have, so I get these at Home Depot, get these at Home Depot. These are small blue wire nuts. There's no goop in them. These are usually, I just connect two 18 gauge wires together for making the wires longer in the timer or in junction boxes. And this is the Ewing House brand, Landscape Products. small watertight wire connectors. This is a package of 150. There's goop inside there, gel, to keep the water out when you put your wires together in there. And when these containers are empty, they get repurposed. I have a couple of them here, and what I do is when I'm doing work that I don't need the glue or the primer in here, I'd prefer having that weight out of the tote while I'm hauling it around on a job. So I just put these in here. And it takes up the weight so stuff isn't falling around. Another place it can be used is when I have this on, then I have a third one in my truck, and I can put one of these in here, and it'll do the same thing, keep things from falling around. Now these small watertight wire nuts, you're only going to get 3, maybe 4 wires in there. When you need to go bigger, another repurposed cocoa container. Then I use these medium size, the blue ones. And you can get 4, 5, 6 wires in there depending on the brand. And I don't like running out of stuff, so I have my backup bag here, brand new. And I don't use these hardly ever, but when I need them, I've got them, these large ones, and obviously I need to get some more. But you can get 6 to 8 maybe in there. And then under that container, I have my extra bag of blue wire nuts. You might be wondering what all these labels are for. I like having a label on a lot of my tools so that in case I accidentally leave them, people will know who they belong to. But in this situation, that was my first laminated label when we were still doing landscaping with my son. There's a good picture of it, the landscaping. And then this was next after that when we decided to drop the Linear Landscapes name. Went to this, and then these are Evolution labels after that. And I don't even have my newest one on there, but it's pretty similar to this one. So, that's what's in my electrical tote.